still never feel like the show's really taking a side. It's just kind of showing you this guy's perspective. It pokes fun at everybody, but it still likes everybody.
Hi, I'm Lamal, and you're listening to All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends, or in my case, it's never ending.
Hello and welcome back to All Over the Place. I'm your host, Eric Porvazic, and as always, thanking everyone for liking, sharing, subscribing, continuing to grow because of you. We appreciate it. And where's my right-hand man, Jim Culver? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing quite well. And I gotta get this introduction as to why I'm wearing what I'm wearing quickly, because it's making controlling the show a lot harder than it should be. Nearsighted in front of a computer, not good. All right, Marty Zamora, welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
All right, and rounding out the team, Kathy Rankin. How are you this fine evening?
I'm good.
All right, folks. Well, we are coming back to you now, and just very quickly, I'm going to lose this. I'm in my Hank Hill mode because tonight, following up on our discussion of the Naked Gun requel or reboot, they're calling. I saw requel, and I like that instead of a reboot or a sequel. And we're going to be talking tonight about the Happy Gilmore 2 that's on Netflix right now, and also going to be talking about, speaking of streaming, we're going to talk about King of the Hill season 14 on Hulu. And for those of you who saw our Naked Gun requel show, it was a 2-1 vote. As of those of us who liked it, it was a various degrees of lukewarm to Kathy's loathed it. And Marty, have you been able to see Naked Gun in the last few days?
No. I was in Vegas, so movies were not really on my mind.
All right, so
I have done the King of the Hill.
All right, well, he saw us abstain on the Naked Gun. It may want to be 3-1. It may be 2-2. We'll figure that out later. That's Marty's homework for another time. Because right now we're going to get on with the latest requel, and that would be Happy Gilmore 2. And is it pretty safe to say that all of us love the original Happy Gilmore? I mean, a lot. To really, really good.
Yeah, I would go a step further. I would say it was probably, it's my favorite Adam Sandler comedy.
Ooh.
One of my favorite comedies of the 90s. I think it's a classic. I love it.
I agree.
Outstanding. Yeah.
It's not my favorite Sandler. That would go to Wedding Singer, but Happy Gilmore is a very close number 2 in terms of comedies, and especially comedies from the 90s. But
yeah, I put it up there with some of my dumb guy favorites, like Dumb and Dumber or Tommy Boy, stuff like that. That I just real dumb guy comedy. This is right up there with it for me. I really love Happy Gilmore.
All right, well, Kathy, digging a little bit deeper with you. We've got Jim calling it his favorite Sandler. Marty ranking it up there high. Where do you put it in the Sandler pantheon of films?
I loved it too. I got to agree with you guys. But you reminded me about The Wedding Singer. So yeah, I'd say they were neck and neck for me. But I like Adam Sandler movies. I know he's goofy, but I like a lot of his movies.
Oh yeah, me too. Big Daddy, loved it.
Yeah.
All right, well, very, very quickly, we're going to take a side step here, folks, because that's what we do on All Over the Place. Before we get back to Happy Gilmore 2, what is everyone's favorite Adam Sandler dramatic role? Ooh. Jim, I'll go to you first.
Uncut Gems. Undoubtedly.
Marty?
Yeah, probably that. It's a little frantic, but yeah, I agree with Jim.
Kathy, to you.
I don't really like him in dramatic roles.
Oh, okay. Well, that's completely legit. I'm going to go with the other two guys. Uncut Gems was damn near perfect, and like Marty said, frantic. That movie, like Marty and I saw it together in the theater, and both of us walked out of there bewildered.
It's called Uncut Gems. I haven't seen that.
Uncut Gems, yeah. Pretty sure it's on one of the streamers, but yeah, it's
okay. I'm gonna have to. That's gonna go on my list of movies I gotta watch.
It's a doozy. Really, really good script, and Sandler was just perfect in it.
Really?
But I will also throw in Love Reign Over Me, his post 9/11 movie. I thought he did a great job of that, especially him being New York being such a big part of his personality. I loved what he did in that movie. All right. But enough of the dramatic roles, because we're going to talk now, because all of us love Happy Gilmore 2. And I'm sorry, all of us love the original Happy Gilmore. But Happy Gilmore 2, just very quickly, we're going to go around and then we'll get into the specifics of why we like or don't like it. But Kathy, we're going to go counterclockwise now. Thumb up or thumb down, or yes or no?
I didn't hate it.
Okay, all right.
It didn't blow me away.
What an endorsement.
Yeah.
We're a little waffly on that one.
My Naked Gun review. This is.
I saw that. Put that on the billboard. I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it. Yeah, okay, so here's what I'll say about it. Adam Sandler. It was what you would expect from an Adam Sandler movie. I think you always kind of know what you're getting if it's a comedy of his. And so I feel the one thing he's good about is he doesn't really stray too far from his formula. And so I appreciate that because I know what I'm going to get. And there were some really funny moments for me. I found it fairly entertaining. Not as good as the first one, obviously, but I was actually expecting. Somebody had told me that they had seen it and that it was the worst movie they had ever seen. So I went in expecting it to be really bad, and I thought it was pretty entertaining.
That person apparently has never seen Little Nicky, but I digress.
I like.
All right, Marty, to you. So your quick encapsulation: like it, don't like it.
Let me just say that I didn't hate it. That was not accurate for me. I didn't like it. There's a few moments that I liked, but I'll get into why later. But yeah, it wasn't for me. The one behind me is for me.
Yes. All right, Jim, to you and your quick assessment of Happy Gilmore 2.
Well, I'm going to reiterate once again. That's the first one I absolutely loved. It's one of my favorite comedies. So I had pretty high expectations for this one, but I'm going to have to do the Joaquin Phoenix meme here and go.
Oh, he
did not like it.
To it.
Was not funny. It had its moments, but in general, it was not funny. It was lazy. It was everything wrong with Adam Sandler on streaming now, where it was lazy. I feel like there was not a lot of effort put into the script. It didn't try very hard to be funny. It just kind of coasted on the original and didn't try to do anything good.
All right. Well, I mentioned Little Nicky earlier for the worst thing anyone's ever seen from Adam Sandler. Where do you, from a streaming standpoint, where do you put this up against? Was it the Ridiculous Six? The first thing he did for Netflix. Right? See that to me, I cannot. I'm surprised they even said that without vomiting. So
yeah. Ridiculous Six was painfully bad. I really didn't like that one, but it wasn't that bad.
He had an excuse with that one because that was his first for Netflix. Now he shouldn't have an excuse for what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing this for years with Netflix, and it wasn't that bad. Like that was painfully bad, but this one, it was just a huge letdown. You know, maybe my expectations were too high because I love the original, but I just thought he would do something interesting with it. He would find a way to make it funny, but it just was a letdown all the way through. I did not like it.
No, that's amazing. What did you think, Eric?
Well, I think I will give it faint praise, and only because it was not, and here's my comparison with it. It was not the gold standard that is Top Gun Maverick. That is how you do a reboot, a sequel, a requel. That's how you do it. I mean, I like that movie better than I like Top Gun, but it was not that. However, it was nowhere near as bad as Coming to America, from something that went directly to a screamer. So I thought it was 20 minutes too long because I thought they tried too hard to sandwich in so many throwbacks and like revisits to the first one. And I thought a lot of the jokes that did land could have landed a lot more effectively had they not spent so much time having to worry about the throwbacks.
All right. Round robin. Name a thing you hated about that movie.
All right, Marty, go.
Well, Jim, this basically sounds like to you what the Naked Gun requel was to me.
Yeah, pretty much. I do want to see it, but only
your review is exactly the same as mine was for the
only
other.
to prove you right. I'll start with a hate. I have several lists here.
Yeah, no, Marty took copious notes on this one.
Oh,
so
I
yeah,
wouldn't
I did. I got a.
so hang on a second, Marty. I'm going to give you center stage on the mic.
All
So,
right.
yeah, there you go.
Let me just tell you how much I hated it. I didn't hate the movie. There was thing after thing after thing that didn't need to be that way. And I'll just start with a big one. I don't think it was directed very well. A lot of the lines, when they delivered them, they seemed choppy or amateurish. It just didn't land well. It wasn't, the little gags they did in the old one were great, but they were framed right. They were, maybe it was the editing. I don't know, but it just seemed, it seemed like sometimes it seemed like a high school play or something. It just didn't live up to the amount of money they spent. I don't know if it's the director's fault, but it seemed to be, because there were some lines there where I was like, what? That's not even the right emotion, or that's not the way that somebody would say that thing. It's like they were just reading a line. It was, there was a lot of that for me anyway.
Well, Jim, was it Frank Karachi or Dennis Dugan, or was it one of like the regular Adam Sandler directors in the first one?
It was Dennis Dugan.
Okay.
And he did a lot of the early Sandler movies, and he really had an eye for it. So yeah, I'm gonna reiterate on what Marty said. The direction wasn't great on this one. It was edited together so fast and so frantically that, like, every joke, as soon as they deliver the punchline, cut to something else, and then they deliver a punchline, cut to something else. Like, it went so fast. And Dennis Dugan knew exactly how to direct those early Adam Sandler movies. He knew timing was everything, and he knew how to let a joke breathe just enough and then move on to the next one, and not go too fast and not drag it out. But this one is just boom, 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 joke, 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 and they're not that funny anyway. But if they're not even given a chance to breathe or to get the comic timing right, and not only that, but I think I said the same thing in talking about The Naked Gun, but the cinematography. The first Happy Gilmore was filmed in Vancouver in the summer, and you could see right behind Marty, it's playing, and you can see the colors on the screen. They're beautiful. It makes you want to go outside and play golf. But this sequel is dark. It's almost all indoors, or feels like it's indoors, in rooms where the lights are off. And, there's just constantly people sitting around in these dark rooms, and they say something stupid, and then it immediately cuts to something else. And, it's not funny, and it's not even fun to watch, So just really badly directed. And I'm going to add another one. I apologize if I'm stepping over, but Adam Sandler's character. I mean, the whole point of the original was that it followed him, and he had this whole character arc, and it was fun to watch him, his character, watch him go crazy, but then try to fight his anger. And he had so much energy back then, maybe just because he was young and hungry, but he had all this energy he was putting into this role, and it was fun to watch. And he just mopes through this movie. I mean, he's so miserable. He's so unhappy. I mean, his character's supposed to be going through a rut, which is, typical sequel plot line, but it's like he doesn't even try to do anything else but just be mopey through the whole thing. And there's so much time given to the supporting characters and everyone else that half the time I forget he's in it, because he walks in and mopes around and says a couple things, and then you see the supporting characters for 75% of the scene, and you almost forget that it's his story, because it's just callback, supporting character, and he acts like he's barely in it. So I just feel like it's really bad execution all around.
Let me ask you this: would you have been happy? Pardon the phrasing here. Would you have been happy if he would have had a romp through one of the ponds, a la Carl Weathers and Rocky on the beach in Rocky 3, wearing some tube socks and finding that spirit that way, getting his manhood back?
Maybe his version of that, minus the tube socks. But yeah, I think that's exactly what he needed. He needed some kind of Rocky moment where, like his character gets in the first one, where you see him getting these little victories and growing as a person, and to, as much as you can in a cartoon like that, and just becoming a better person. And it just didn't get that. He's just the only time you really see his character come out is in his relationship with his kids, which is actually pretty well done. He has, you know,
Yeah, I did like that. Yeah.
he does have a really positive relationship with his kids. They love each other. They get along well, even though there's a lot of jokes about it. And you do get a nice vibe off of those scenes, a nice warm feeling, but that's so lacking in the rest of the movie. And you just don't sense this character is there. You don't sense that he's getting any joy out of anything or learning anything. He's just kind of there and just moping around and saying what he has to say to move the plot along. And, you know, people like Chris McDonald, who is genuinely good in this, steals all his scenes. People like that are doing all the heavy lifting.
And to Eric's point about the sort of montage-ish type thing, he was playing shitty golf with the college kids, and then he hit a long ball, and then smash cut to he's playing golf okay again. Like, that's it. That's all we got. There was no arc.
Well, and this goes to something I failed to bring up with Naked Gun and the different generations of comedy. One of the steadfast rules forever of comedy has been show, don't tell. And now it's all tell, don't show.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It just tells you how you're supposed to feel, and it, all the jokes are like, please laugh here, but they're not funny, so nobody laughs, and I don't know, it just really didn't hit the way I think they expected it to. But yeah.
You make a really good point about, and this was something that I did pick up on, is how the movie was dark and his character was dark. And I think they forgot, like, what made the first movie so great was it was lighthearted. And even though there was crazy stuff going on, it was very lighthearted, and you were having fun, and the characters, like you said, it ended up being positive. And I did feel they spent the whole drinking thing. I mean, it's like, it just was very dark feeling. And when it continued on, I was like, okay, we get the point, and there's enough of that. And like you said, I was waiting for that bright moment where it was going to get lighthearted. And like I said, I didn't mind the movie. There were parts that did make me laugh, and it's exactly what you said. I liked the kids, and I liked those parts of it. But yeah, I felt some of his character was just dark and kind of depressing. And the same with the what's the guy's name that came back? That was his nemesis in the first movie.
Shooter McGavin.
I love that guy. And I mean, even that was kind of weird and dark, how they were treating his character.
Yeah, they could have done so much more with him.
Yeah.
And I did like him in it, and I didn't like him still being kind of the nemesis, but they could have done so much more than just he's a crazy guy.
Right. I agree.
Yeah,
I'd like to have seen more.
Yeah. It was funny at the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a confession. I'm going to make a confession. I should have told you this at the beginning. I fell asleep. I fell asleep halfway through. I wasn't minding the movie, but I was watching at night and sometimes when I get in that adjustable bed, I just freaking start to nod off.
I don't even need an adjustable bed, and I find myself, even this one, I'll wake up and got to rewind a little bit. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I just started to nod off, and maybe that's a testament to it wasn't compelling enough. But I was enjoying some of it up until that point. Then I started to kind of like I was half in, half out. So I'll have to go back and watch the end with a little more critical eye.
Okay, well, we've got two lukewarms and we got two no's. So let's go around. Let's round robin it, and we're going to keep you there, Kathy. And one thing that we really liked about it, and if there's nothing, just say, and we'll go next.
I thought some of the stuff with the kids was funny. I liked the kids, how they played their characters, like how the boys were all crazy and fighting, but it wasn't like too serious. I don't know. I liked some of the stuff with the kids.
And I did like that they were all the boys were named after hockey legends. I like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
A simple joke, but a good joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hate the family stuff. That part was, okay.
Yeah, that was probably Sandler's big contribution. Was he just said, he loves his family. He wanted this movie to have kind of a pro-family theme about it, and he put that in there. Like every movie is about a deadbeat dad and terrible relationship with their kids, and it was refreshing to see something positive there for once.
Yeah. Wow.
And that is one thing.
I didn't notice that.
But going on a tangent off of this, Sandler's often, criticized for putting his buddies in his movies, or now putting his family, his two daughters and his wife in a lot of his movies. Now, but I like why he does it. He says, I'm on a film shoot for, however many weeks. I want to be around my friends. I want to be around my family. And I think there's a lot to be said for that in a Hollywood that, just doesn't recognize that enough.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think having Kevin Nealon show up and say 2 lines was really that bad. I mean, his friends showed up a little bit, but mostly it was they weren't really there as much as his usual movies. A lot of the supporting roles were other characters. So I felt like that was maybe the least Happy Madison of his movies in a while in that way.
That's a good point.
Did you guys? What did you guys think of Ben Stiller?
I'm going to turn this over to we're on a happy theme right now, but Marty and I have talked about this, so I'm going to let him take the stage here because I know he's going to have a field day with it.
It was awful. And he was a pretty good, funny character in the first one.
Yeah.
But it was the same bad guy joke over and over and over. It never took you anywhere. I didn't like him, and it wasn't because he was the bad guy. I just didn't like what he was doing. I thought it was stupid and hackney, and it was just not good. And it's a shame because it could have been really, really funny. It could have been used. He was definitely misused. It could have been a lot better. And I don't know. I'm the counselor. I'm the A, and I'm a dick. And that joke just, I don't know. It was like the alcohol joke. Like.
Yeah.
Or that wasn't really a joke, I guess, but that sucked. That sucked a lot. I don't know what else to say about it. It was just, it could have been such a good villain. He could have had some sort of a role. He could have, I don't know, something. But it was just, I'm a dick. Remember? I'm a dick. Y'all remember that? I'm a dick.
Yeah.
Over and over. And it was the same joke. They just kept repeating it, and it missed the first scene. I was like, I already hate what they did with him.
I couldn't believe
in the first one he wasn't that prevalent a character, and this one they tried to beef it up more, and a bad joke, like you said, Marty, over and over again. If it's good, leave him on screen a little bit longer, but it wasn't.
Yeah, they almost gave him it was almost like he was a supporting role in it. He was in it so much, and the only reason I can think of they did it, other than Ben Stiller being a big star, is that in the first movie, we never really see him get his comeuppance. We do in the deleted scene where Happy punches him out, but and I've heard fans complain about that. Like this guy was really the biggest villain in the first movie, and we never really see him get his comeuppance. So they said we're gonna throw him into the second movie a bunch, so people see plenty of him. But a little of that goes a long way. It felt like they were almost trying to do dodgeball with him and have him be the main bad guy, be the douchebag for the entire movie. And it was just, but like you said, Marty, there was just one joke, and they didn't come up with anything to do with it. So you
get a big star, and you can't write something good for him. It's just, I don't know. So, by the way, we're doing good things we liked. Shockingly, and because I don't know thing one about the guy, never heard his music. I probably heard it, but Bad Bunny. I thought he was good. I thought he was a good little sidekick. I thought his acting was good and relatively polished. I was surprised. I was like, who is this fucking guy? And so I kind of looked it up with the magic of Google Lens, and I figured out who it was. And wow. But I think this is his debut in acting, and I was impressed. I liked him. I think I hate his music, but I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I mean, it's modern, and I'm not.
Jim, to you, what was one of the things that you liked about Happy Gilmore?
I think I already hinted at it, but yeah, Chris McDonald as Shooter McGavin bringing him back and giving him a bigger part, giving him something to do. You know, I've been a fan of Chris McDonald going back to when he played the asshole dad in Dutch, and the douchebag husband in Thelma and Louise. I mean, seeing him in those, like, that guy plays a scumbag like nobody else.
Yes.
You just hate him, and he's so good at that. And so, you know, and of course I loved him as Shooter McGavin. That ended up being like his career defining role, but he's just so good at this stuff. I mean, even you know, they didn't give him a lot of material to work with, but just his delivery, his timing, the way he just puts a little comic spin on all his lines. I mean, there's like one whole episode or one whole scene where he's like interrupted from eating pancakes, so the entire next scene he's just complaining about how much he wants pancakes. But that's the stupidest thing ever, but he makes it funny the way he delivers it. You know, you can see he's just like sweating and he's like seething about the pancakes the whole time. You know, the way he does that is really, really funny. So, like, to me, I really thought he stole that movie. His scenes were all really good, really well done by him. And yeah, he was kind of the movie's saving grace. Even the lulls, he kind of lifted up with his delivery. And some of the other supporting roles and cameos were okay. Like John Daly, he was in the movie a lot more than I expected, but he was funny because he was kind of being himself and kind of being the crazy old guy that sleeps on the couch. That was kind of funny. Honestly, the Eminem
cameo. A drunken Jiminy Cricket.
What's that?
He was a drunken Jiminy Cricket.
He was, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of a perfect role for him, you know. And yeah, some of the cameos, the Jack Nicklaus cameo, the Eminem cameo, actually made me laugh a little bit, especially the way it ended. I won't give anything away, but yeah, I mean, those guys, they just got in, did something funny, and that was it. Yeah, and I totally agree with Marty. Bad Bunny was, I've never listened to his music or seen him in anything else, but he was really funny as the crazy caddy in that. He was really good. So some of the
I even like his dumb brother.
Yeah, some of the supporting characters kind of saved their scenes, but just wasn't enough to save the movie.
Yeah.
And to a bad guy who they knew what to do with him and not dwell on it. I'm not a fan of Travis Kelce off camera, but I thought his character was well done. He was the jerk, the right amount of time, got his comeuppance, and we're done with him. I thought they did that well.
Yeah. I think one of the things that kind of covers the whole movie is, and this thought that just kept going through my head was, all the cameos in the world can't fix bad writing. It's just,
yep.
I know it was a little bit funny that you jammed 100 cameos in there, but I mean, it can't fix what's already a bad product. You're trying to, polish a turd, so to speak, and it's just, I don't know. Yeah. I didn't see that group with Eric Andre. That's a great idea. Have them play with some young people, and they can fuck with them. And it was just done so poorly. I just, and Eric Andre is funny. I like Eric Andre. He's kind of an idiot, but I think he's funny. And none of it was. I didn't like any of it.
I don't disagree with you, Marty, but I'm going to be I'm going to play my a slight misogynistic card here. And Margaret Qualley doing a split in a sand trap. I can't complain about that. I'm sorry.
Well,
but yeah, it was wasted scenes, especially when you're just like, as was mentioned earlier, he's playing poorly. He smacks one, finds his Happy Gilmore groove again, and yeah, so it just another of the wasted and just poorly directed moments. Yeah,
I really wanted to like it.
But I did like Scotty Scheffler.
Everything you're saying is exactly what I said about Naked Gun.
Yeah,
it's just so funny.
My vote's in. I hated it. I haven't even seen it. I hate it. 2-2.
But Scotty Scheffler, I did like quite a bit, especially him getting in, being thrown in. Well, if you've seen it by now, folks, you haven't seen it now. But Scotty Scheffler's his jail time was very well. I thought that was effectively done. I laughed a lot with Scotty Scheffler's parts. That's probably the laughing the most.
Yeah. I thought he was good because he's just a golfer. He's not an actor, but he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, he gets grandma's house back or whatever. Who cares? It's okay to be to spoil a bad movie. It's all right.
Well, it kind of goes back to, again, why is Hollywood doing, why aren't they're just not coming up with anything new?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get to very shortly when we flip gears to television show, requel, reboot, whatever, extended, additional season. But I want to put a quick capper on Happy Gilmore 2 with what did everyone think of how Adam Sandler brought back Julie Bowen instead of going to like the new girl of the moment and just bringing in what's done so often. You replace the aging actress with the young femme fatale or hottie of the moment.
I thought it was great. So much so, and kudos to her. She's one of those girls that doesn't look her age. There's another one. Anyway,
yep. And she looks better now, as far as I
thought, holy crap! They brought in some other pretty girl. That sucks. And then I was like, that is her. Holy smokes!
That's the exact same thing we did. We were like, is that fantastic.
Her? Yeah, I think it's great. Sticking to
Modern
it.
Family gave her the fountain of youth.
Apparently.
And folks, I just got to say, Marty, I'm going to call you out right here. Marty is not a fan of the classic woman. So for him to say this about Julie Bowen, kudos, my friend. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I say all these
actress. She's a really good actress. I mean, I think she was effective in the scene she was in. It was very brief, but I thought that whole premise was a little weird.
Having her dead was kind of, but I don't know.
Yeah, like that.
I guess that's how you drive home the dad thing, I guess.
Yeah,
it was a
very
weird
odd way to handle it, but.
So now that I've said all these horrible things, I'm going to say this: Adam Sandler is a good dude. What he continues to do for Rob Schneider is just epic bro shit. Like, he saw that, Rob had decided to say what he thought and not worry about the consequence, and, respected that and said, I'm a big shot. I'm Adam fucking Sandler. I'm putting him in my movie. And by the way, give him $5 million because I said so. Like, that's some cool shit right there. Regardless of whatever, blowback he got, he didn't care. Like, yeah, I'm putting my friend in there. I'm already famous. Doesn't matter. So,
and it didn't make him have to endure the strange accent that he had in Grandma's Boy.
Yeah,
right, Jim, what your thoughts on Julie Bowen?
I thought it was strange, a strange move to make. I can only assume either she didn't want to be in the movie or they just couldn't figure out how to write her in, so they just kind of took care of her at the beginning. I thought it was an odd choice considering how popular she is, but I thought it worked. You have in the sequel, it seems to be the rules, and in the sequel, you always have to have the hero get knocked down to the bottom and have to claw his way back up. So that's how they did it. I mean, I could criticize it as far as like storytelling, but I mean, these movies are cartoons. You really can't take them that seriously. And so within that logic, it made perfect sense what they did. And it was I feel like it was kind of a wink, wink way of kind of acknowledging to the audience, that, we knew we had to do something to kick this movie off, and, this is what we're going to do. So it was completely over the top, but it fit in with, the tone of the movie. And yeah, it did allow the movie to focus a lot on Happy and his kids. And so I feel like it worked. It would have been nice if she'd been in the movie more. She probably worked on it for 2 days in a green screen, but it was still nice to see her in it again, of course.
Yeah, she was really good in the first one, and some other stuff she's done.
Modern Family, she's great.
Fine actor.
Well, there you go, folks. Happy Gilmore 2, 2 hell no's, and 2 on the fence, and talking about it. Just like when we talked more about Naked Gun, the requel, I'm liking Happy Gilmore 2 a little bit less now, but so again,
Sorry.
make it 20 to 25 minutes shorter. I think all of us would have liked it a little bit more, maybe a lot more. But yeah, it's let's just say it's glad it's on a streamer and you don't have to go out and pay $16 for your ticket and an extra $20 to $25 on concessions.
There is that.
There is. And before we switch on over to the other Requel we're going to talk about, I really very quickly want to send a shout out to our friends over at Vinyl Record Dude, Nick and the team over there. Make sure when you're in Scottsdale, Arizona, head on down to Shea and Scottsdale and dip on in there to the new location, Vinyl Record Dude. And if you're not in Scottsdale anytime, also check them out at vinylrecorddude.com. And another one of our friends here at the show, Danny Zalesko Presents. Make sure you go to Danny Zalesko. You want to go to dzplive.com/events. And you can get up to speed on all the concerts Danny's got going on, not only here in the Southwest. I mean, Arizona is his main base of operations, but he does things all across the country. So make sure you check out dzplive.com/events. Thanks a lot to Danny Zalesko Presents and Vinyl Record Dude for being friends of the show. And now we're going to switch over very quickly before I got to get my Hank Hill look going on here because I am very excited. I am unabashedly gaga about talking about King of the Hill season 14 is rebooted up and they've got it on Hulu. Hulu took over and resurrected this one with the original team of Mike Judge and Greg Daniels. And I'm loving it, but I don't love the fact that I'm nearsighted and I can't see anything while I'm on the computer with these things on. So my Hank Hill look is here and gone quickly. And a quick disclaimer, Kathy, I'll let you take away, Kathy, why King of the Hill was not on your radar for tonight.
I just have never watched animated shows that much. The Simpsons, Family Guy, all those, I just never was big into the animated shows. I did watch some of The Simpsons, and it, back in the day was funny, but I just have never been a huge follower of the animated type of adult shows.
They're not for everybody.
Yeah, I can relate because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I really wanted to love the animated stuff because it's the whole universe there. There's a lot of canon there and stuff. I just couldn't get into it. It's just cartoon. I couldn't do it.
Clone Wars is difficult to watch. I'm a fellow nerd. I could not get into Clone Wars. Jim, you probably did. So you're probably you're going to outnerd us on this one.
I watched it off and on, but I was never that into it.
There we go. Well, we don't have to worry about that. But we'll get to why I'm gaga about King of the Hill season 14 in a second. But I want to go first to you, Jim. What are your thoughts with the return of Hank and Company?
Well, first off, I'm going to say if you're going to be representing Hank Hill tonight, I'm a little nervous that makes me Bill. But Marty obviously is Dale, but I'm a little worried that I'm Bill, and I'm gonna put that aside for the moment. No, I think the reboot's really good. I think it's really, really well done. It's got all the same people back, minus a few voice actors that passed away. But the characters are exactly who they are, 10 some years later. And it was everything I wanted King of the Hill to be. It was funny. It was warm. It had all the characters being likable and believable, and everything about them that I liked was brought back. And it was just a lot of fun to see them coming back and see their adventures again. And there's a lot of characters I liked. A lot of the new characters I liked. I got to say my personal favorite is Ted's son, Bobby's buddy, who kind of represents him as the investor. And man, what a hilarious character! Like some of the stuff that they get him into and just the stuff he says is really, really well done.
How far did you get, Jim?
3 episodes.
Okay, I got through 4.
You got through 4. Okay,
I have 1 left to go. I've been I could not be happier with what they've done with this, and I've not been able to stop watching since I put it on yesterday morning.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Marty through 4 episodes. Oh,
I liked it. I was just fucking around.
How many episodes total is it?
I believe it's 10. Is that
Oh.
right?
I think so.
Maybe I will finish it. I thought it was great. I hope they go into a lot of the. It seems to be a little edgier now. They're getting a little slightly political. They're touching on topics, and I love how they're doing the conspiracy theory thing. That's cool.
We got you there, Dale Gribble. We got you.
It stung a little bit that it was being made fun of, but that's all right. I'm not a full-on tinfoil hat guy. I'm just mostly that.
Dale was always kind of the butt of the joke at the same time, but he was a great likable character. But they've always kind of poked fun at his expense. But even sadly the voice actor passed away, but the character writing definitely hasn't missed a beat. And I really like how they brought the characters into 2025 in a realistic way. It doesn't feel dated at all, even though the show ended 20 years ago or something. I agree with you, Marty. It is a bit edgier, but I feel like that makes sense because the show really was about Hank Hill, and who's a very much traditional old-fashioned guy, just kind of shaking his fist at the modern world and everything about it that drives him crazy. And so you fast forward to 2025, obviously all that conflict would be ramped up to where just everything would drive him up the wall, even in a small town in Texas. So, I thought that was really well handled, but it's still, you still never feel like the show's really taking a side. It's just kind of showing you this guy's perspective, and it's poking fun at him and everything else. It pokes fun at everybody, but it still likes everybody. And so, that's what makes it such a fun watch.
Yeah, that's a good point. Manages to be edgy without really specifically fucking with anyone in particular, which is what comedy is supposed to be.
Right.
I know
very few things should be off limits. Very few.
I see, Kathy. I told you that's what he thinks. I quoted you the other day on that one, Marty.
It's either all funny or none of it's funny.
But I know when we talked about this earlier, when we were talking about our favorite TV dads, and of course Hank was one of yours, Jim, and we briefly spoke about what it was going to be like, because the trailer just come out when we recorded that episode earlier this year, and we had nothing to fear, and I was almost not concerned, but I think two of the writers from the original show, and they want to become producers as well, but John Altshuler and Dave Krinsky, I know, are two very libertarian-minded guys. And they were the ones who actually came up with The Good Family. That was their baby that Mike Judge also produced. So I was fearing we wouldn't get a lot of their jokes that you guys spoke about, where just Hank's railing at a world that is not his. And nope, Mike Judge has stepped up in a huge way, and I love it. And you haven't gotten to it, Jim. I can't remember if it's episode 4, might be episode 5 or 6. But Marty, have you gotten to the episode where they visit the George Bush Library?
No, I saw that one. That was 3.
Yes, that's 3.
Okay, so there you go. And you wanted there's your Dale Gribble conspiracy theory out the wazoo. And I thought I had to rewind. I was laughing so much. I missed things. I love that scene.
Oh, and I was like, I think that too. All of those things they just made fun of, pretty much all of them. By the way, Kathy, you won't have to watch the show because we're going to explain it all.
That's what we do here.
Move on.
You guys are making such a good case for it. I might go watch it.
Well, the same way that you drove me away from.
Right.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry, Marty. I didn't mean to step. Marty, say that again. I didn't mean to step on you.
Oh no! I just say in the same way you drove me away from, the Fantastic.
Well, I think what would be a good primer for to get Kathy going to get to know the characters a little bit from the first 13 seasons.
13 seasons.
Well, tell you what, Kat, we'll send you a list. We'll powwow. We'll come up with a best of. But season 14, I'm sorry, I got to be a spoiler because these 2 quotes are phenomenal. I can't not share them. Hank is talking to Peggy, and Bobby starts dating a vegan, not a vegan, a vegan. and Peggy says, "No, we just have to respect her culture, Hank. Weird isn't a culture. I don't have to respect weird."
Weird isn't a culture. That's pretty good.
And he meets up with his half brother, Good Hank, and he's trying to be convinced into, this to have an open mind, Dad. I think Bobby's talking to have an open mind, Dad. He's like, I want to spend my golden years around people who remember when quarterbacks stayed in the pocket.
Wow. Wow.
That's
old school.
Fired.
That's funny.
And he said that after he had already been to the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, I gotta.
And Marty, one of the guest voices at the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp. Do you know any guys who came out of a certain university in the middle of Pennsylvania? Micah Parsons is on there.
Oh, really?
Yes. Not a huge role, but it was nice to see a little Nittany Lion love there. So yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, now I know they go to fantasy camp. Spoiler alert.
Well, and I do want to give it up quickly. It's Johnny Hardwick. The guy, Johnny Hardwick. He voiced Dale, but he had recorded a lot of his dialogue, but passed away before he was able to record all of it. Toby Huss stepped up. He mainly voices Connie's dad. Con, yeah, he voices him, but Toby Huss stepped up and voices Dale throughout the last couple of episodes. Great job with that, and I'm hoping that they pay a little tribute to. Of course, we lost the guy who voiced John Redcorn. And Tom Petty passed away, so we didn't have Lucky there. And
wait, did we just gloss over the fact that neither one of you knew the name of that guy? That fucking never happens, Kathy.
Something Jaws.
One of them will always come up with this shit.
And I've just been watching it. Like, hey, I got the Toby Huss part right. I got to give myself some. I wrote that down. I didn't write Johnny's last name down. So no, Jim got it right. Jim stepped up. He had it.
Yeah, I think it was Jonathan Joss. But I will say that. So yeah, we had no Lucky, but we did get a Tom Petty song playing in one of the one of the scenes. So that was still kind of a nice tribute to him.
Nice, good point.
And they had they showed I think it was a cardboard cutout of Chuck Mangione, R.I.P.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
cool. Why we haven't had a throwback for Luann yet, though. So
no, not yet.
I still have one more episode, so they've got to give a little love there and take it away, because I of course am blanking on who voiced Luann, Jim.
Brittany Murphy.
Thank you. So yes.
Oh,
between the two of us, we get we get our Hollywood okay around here.
Yeah.
My role is clear here.
Well, hang on a second. Hold on, Marty. Hold on, because you're not just a dancing monkey. We have what do you got for us, Marty?
Awesomeness. Let me tell you a thing about a thing. I don't understand why. I'm not going to.
Well, I should have had this up when you were talking about Dale in the Bush Library.
Yes, well, that was great. The Trilateral Commission they're running so much, and we don't even know. If you guys would just pay attention, you would see that it's a covert operation to get Bigfoot in office. And
Kathy, of course, has her MTV shirt on. Marty has been known to wear his MTV Bigfoot MTV shirt from time to time.
Awesome.
I also have one that says Bigfoot for president.
I want to see that.
So I got a few more years before I can wear it. But.
All right. Well, Kathy is going to have to abstain from this vote. Marty, what do you give for what you've watched so far? Since there's 10 episodes, how do you rank the Return of King of the Hill 1 through 10?
8+. Really well done. I will say this real quick. Happy Gilmore and King of the Hill both came back after a long time. King of the Hill's premise was not any better, and look how well it all turned out. It was kind of a dumb premise. I was in Saudi Arabia doing a propane thing, and It's kind of dumb, but who cared? Nobody cared because they did it right. The show was good. It was no better of a premise than the Happy Gilmore thing, but they fucked that up, didn't they? Anyway, 8.5.
8.5. Jim, to you.
Having only seen a few episodes, I'm going to give it a 9. I thought it was really, really well done. Mike Judge, man, that guy just doesn't miss. He brought back Beavis and Butthead, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now he's bringing back this show, and it's great. When we were talking about the Naked Gun movie, I said something like, even the people that are making these remakes have been around since the early 2000s or earlier in Hollywood. There's no real young guns of comedy right now. They're just not getting their feet through the door. But these old vets like Mike Judge, they're coming back and they're just bringing it. And hopefully the next generation will follow their example and follow suit.
And remember, next generation, show, don't tell. Show.
Mike Judge should have done Gilmore.
There you go.
I would have watched that.
If you haven't already figured it out, folks, and I'm going to don the glasses once again. We have an 8.5, we have a 9, and we've got a 10 from Mr. Provoznik. And I'm glad they've already got season 15 has been announced already.
Oh, it's rolling, huh?
I got one more episode left in season 14. It can't get here soon enough. I'm loving it.
Look how excited Kathy is.
Well, it's a shame none of you are talking about the sequel or requel they did for Sex and the City, which was also awful.
I've heard. That's all I've heard. Well, here. Okay. Well, hang on a second, Kathy. We're gonna put me that's me in the small corner. That'll be me in no spotlight. Let's switch everything around here so Marty, there you go.
My facial.
So, Kat, we've gone gaga over here for how awesome King of the Hill was. So the requel to Sex and the City, go. Bash away.
Horrible. Hated everything about it. The acting, the writing. It was terrible. The ladies had too much plastic surgery. They introduced a bunch of new characters that nobody liked. It was so woke. Sorry for anybody out there that's woke, but it was so woke. They forgot who their audience was. They literally forgot who their audience was, and it's already been canceled. So it was just announced like this past week that they're ending.
And this is going to show. I did watch the original series in when my first marriage. We did watch it. It was something that brought us together. Correct me if I'm wrong. Miranda was not asked back because of the conflict between her and Sarah Jessica Parker. Is that right? The actress who plays Miranda? Is that
not Miranda. It was the actress that played the sex pot, Kim Cattrall. It was her character.
What was her character's name?
Oh, you're stumping me. It was.
We could tell it was really good.
Miranda was the attorney that.
Oh yeah, Miranda's the redhead. See, this is good. See, folks, I watched it and I don't remember. I'm saving myself a little bit.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, Kim Cattrall. That's all we need.
It's her character. And yes, there was that rumor that they just did not get along, which is a shame because on screen the chemistry between those four ladies was amazing in the original series. But that was all. It was just terrible. Everything about the reboot was terrible. Which is why it's canceled. There you have it.
Hollywood, figure it out. That you're getting it all wrong, folks. You're getting it mostly all wrong. Just keep pumping out King of the Hill. That's all.
Yeah. Maybe it's a little bit easier to write for animated characters than real people.
That's possible.
You have to bring actors back when they're a lot older, and they're over it. And,
I don't know. They did quite the de-aging process in The Irishman.
Yeah, that was all right.
But that's a big part of a budget. But that is an excellent point. But we'll have to figure out which of the requels we will rag on or totally slobber over another time. But that's the requels part 2. And folks, if you haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2 yet, listen to us. Don't listen to us. Check it out. Make up your own mind on it. But just know that it had two tepid votes and 2 absolutely positively nots here. But I think a congregate score would be probably a 3.5 or a 4 between the 4 of us if you put them all together. But I was told there'd be no math on the show. We don't have to assign a number to this one.
I thought it was aggregate. What do I know?
That's a good point. See, wait, hang on a second. I don't have very many production tricks here, but some I will have to.
Oh, this reminds me back to the heady days of Columbia House, not Columbia Record House.
We've got trivia with Jim. We've got trivia with Eric. We got to come up with one for you as well, Kathy.
Yeah, what do we get with me? I don't know.
We'll figure it out. But I can't thank everybody for joining us tonight. In the audience, thank you again so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. Again, we continue to grow because of you, and I again want to thank everyone over at Vinyl Record Dude and everyone over with Danny Zalesko Presents, being friends of the show here, and we will be back really soon here, and we're coming up on the Requel to Spinal Tap returns. And none more black. We'll see how our reviews of that one are in a few weeks.
Will they go to 11?
Thanks for watching and or listening, everybody. We'll be back real soon here on All Over the Place. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends.